In our case study this week we will review a wrongful dismissal claim by an employee who was still probationer and was terminated on grounds poor performance. In this IR case study, we will be reviewing the facts of the case from both the claimants and the company, and the IR court's findings. So the big question is, can an employer terminate the services of probationer on the grounds poor performance? The parties to the dispute are 1 and Sheikh Mohammed Tahir, hereafter referred to as the claimant, and the employer, who is an international hotel, hereafter referred to as the company. 1. The claimant started his employment with the company on January 18, 2005 as technical officer with a monthly salary of 2,200 ringgit per month. 2. The claimant was attached to engineering department and reported to Mr. Fred Ng, the chief engineer, who is the head of the engineering department. 3. As per the company's terms and condition of employment, the claimant had to serve a 3-month probation period, and shall only be confirmed based on work performance. 4. On July 19, 2005, the claimant was issued a termination letter on ground of poor performance and was duly terminated. The claimant started in his witness statement that pursuant to his appointment as a technical officer, he was not issued with a written job scope or job description. The claimant further testified that the company had failed to inform him in writing whether he is confirmed or his probation has been extended even after his probation period has matured. The claimant also testified that company did not issue him a written note about his acting designation when Mr. Frederick Ng was hospitalized. The claimant stated that the company had on several incidences victimized him, and one of act of victimization was when Mr. Frederick Ng asked him to tender his resignation. The summary of the company's case and the witness statement of company witness Mr. Albert Ng, company's HR director, COW1. The decision was terminate was made as a result of the claimant's performance evaluation, which clearly showed that the claimant did not meet the expected performance level set by the company. The company had issued the claimant a number of show-cause letters, reminders and even warning letters during his probation period with regard to his poor performance. All this was included in the company's bundle of evidence, and which also includes the claimant's reply to the show-cause letters. Mr. Frederick Ng, the claimant's immediate superior, had on many occasions counseled the claimant on his continued poor performance, but the claimant performance did not show any improvement. COW1 further testified that Mr. Frederick Ng, the claimant's immediate superior, had issued an internal memo to the claimant dated December 12, 2005, detailing the claimant's responsibilities and on tasks which he has to improve, and this was duly accepted. As for the claimant's claim that Mr. Frederick Ng was asked him to take over his duties when he was hospitalized, COW1 testified and provided proof that the claimant was only asked to supervise a maintenance section during his hospitalization, although the claimant had admitted to his mistakes while performing his duty and also apologized to the company, but there was no improvement. The claimant was issued a letter from the GM to explain why the claimant had failed to reply to letters issued by the general manager with regards to lighting being out at several floors at the hotel's multi-story car park. The claimant also adapted a similar attitude to another letter from the GM, this time regarding poolside lights. Although the claimant was given ample opportunities to improve his work performance, he failed to reach the level of expectation of the company. Based on the claimant's continued poor performance, the company therefore decided not to confirm him and terminated his services with the company. On the claimant's claim that he was not issued a letter of confirmation or extended probation period, as per probationary period clause 4.0, in the claimant's letter of appointment it clearly states as follows: you will be on probation for a period of 3 months. This period may, at the discretion of the hotel, be extended for a further period of 3 months. On successful completion of the probationary period, your confirmation shall be in writing. Witness statements and evidence produced by both parties. The following is the court's findings. The company had provided enough evidence to prove that it had given the claimant enough reminders, counseling and warnings regarding his poor performance. The company also proved that it had been fair in providing the claimant enough opportunities to improve his performance, which he failed to do so. On the claimant's claim that he was not issued a letter of confirmation or extended probation period, the claimant is considered a probationer until he is officially informed in writing. As per section 4.2.4 of the company's employee handbook states as follows: 4.2.4, you shall be notified in writing not later than the 10th day of completing your initial or extended probationary period, whether you had been confirmed or not. Unless you have received written confirmation of your employment, you shall remain a probationer. Based on the above, the IR court found that the termination of the claimant was fair and with just cause, therefore the claimant's claim for wrongful dismissal was denied. Key learning points. Firstly, the company's actions clearly show it had good HR practices in place and had established process for all to follow in managing people issues. Secondly, the company had a good performance management practice and system in place and which was strictly adhered to by all in the company. The company also strictly adhered to a structured process and with supporting documents, that is show cause letters, warning letters and memos, to effectively manage poor performance. By adapting this structured approach, we can safeguard the companies from unnecessary and expensive labor dispute. The answer to our question: can an employer terminate the services of probationer on the grounds poor performance? The answer is yes, provided the employer follows well-structured processes with supporting documentation and complies with local employment legislation, as shown in above case. When you adapt good HR practice to manage your people, and even when you need terminate them for any reason, the company will be in a strong position to defend itself from any wrongful dismissal claim.